Hi, I'm Alyssa Bird, owner and designer of Picto Kits. I'm here to walk you through all the steps to create your very own textile and wood wall art piece. Your kit should have everything you need except for a hammer and scissors, so be sure to grab those before we begin. You might see some burn marks around your design, which is from the laser machine that cuts it out. If you don't like that look, just take a wet rag and gently wipe it off. They should come off pretty easily, but be careful around the eyes or any of the other engraving parts. Let's get started. The first step is to peel the tape off of the wood. And you want to peel it hopefully so that the pieces stick to the tape. You can push them from the front or the back. And this way you know exactly which piece goes into which shape. Now the fun begins, picking your fabrics to go in the shapes. Your kit should come with a variety of different textiles, and we'll go through the different kinds as we go through the process. Okay, I'm going to use this fabric and this shape. So I picked out the same piece that goes in that shape. Flip it over and make sure you flip this piece over too so it's facing the same direction. And it's like a puzzle. So you'll place your fabric down. I like to place mine near the edge to save the rest of the fabric. And then you find where that shape goes and place it in. It should fit in perfectly. If you like the way that looks from the front, then lay it down flat and take your scissors and start cutting the fabric from the back. Cutting as close as you can to the wood is best, but you don't have to be super accurate. For this next piece, I want to use this sheer fabric, which is very thin, so you definitely need something to go behind it. You need a double layer, and I'm going to double layer it with this shiny piece. So you got some of that shiny coming through. And this is important because if you use a fabric that's too thin, the piece will just pop right through. It'll be too slippery. So turn it over and put it in this piece. Lay both fabrics down. Grab the piece you need, make sure you flip it in the right direction and find where it goes, kind of push it in. And this might be a good chance to use your hammer. If any of these pieces aren't going in smoothly, make sure you have it in the right direction because you don't want to break it, but get it in as much as you can and then take the hammer and just tap it in the rest of the way. A lot of kids really like using this for this part. I noticed this piece is having a hard time staying in. It's a little too slippery. So I'm taking it, taking the fabric, placing it down again. I'm just gonna try to reuse the shiny behind it, but then I'm gonna add a solid white color fabric in there or something to use to add a third layer. And then just put it back together again. And then, oh yeah, that's a lot tighter. So now it should hold better. If you have a knit fabric in there, which is the stretchy kind, these are kind of fun because you can stretch the knit really wide and through the little holes you can see another color underneath it. So you can try that for layering, or if you have a sheer shiny fabric like this, you can put a solid not shiny fabric behind it and give it a shimmer. You can see the pattern through there. Just play around and try different things until you find something you like. For the next piece, I want to use a fabric with a pattern. And so sometimes this is good to pick up your piece and kind of see where you want the pattern to lay. And then if you find the right spot, flip it over. You always want to have the piece laying flat on a table. Never try to put a piece in with holding it because you can break it. It can bend. So always lay it flat on a table. And then grab the piece you need. Okay, and then you flip it over. I didn't really like the way that placement turned out, so if you don't like it, you just pop a piece out and try again. So I'm going to use the sheer fabric with the stripe. Just place it on top in this piece. Make sure I got it in the right direction. Find where it goes and push it in. I want to give you one more textile tip. If you don't want to use multiple layers of fabric, you can pick one fabric and then just fold it over a few times, 2 or 3 depending on the thickness of the fabric, and then just use that one fabric to make it thick enough for the piece to stick in. Like I mentioned before, the fabric should be cut close to the wood, but it doesn't have to be super accurate, as long as it's not too long and bleeding into the other shapes or sticking out any of the edges. Now we're ready to attach the front to the back. And these back pieces might not come out all super smooth, so there's a piece of sandpaper in the little baggie with the nails. You can take that out and just sand off any rough edges if you'd like. And then you can either keep this piece natural wood like it is, or you can paint it a color to match your design, or stain it a darker wood color. And when you're done, you notice on the back you can write your name and put the year that you created it. There's also these 2 holes, which is for hanging it on a wall, or you can use the kickstand to attach to the bottom and stand it up like that. If you decide to paint the back, you don't have to paint the whole thing because the center is going to be covered, so just get about 2 inches from the edge. Now that we're almost ready to attach the front to the back, here's another optional tip. I like to put a little wood glue on the back before attaching it to make sure everything stays together and nothing's ever gonna move ever. Now for attaching the front to the back, take your little baggie with the sandpaper. It should also have your nails in it. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball that this is center. There's little pilot holes there that you just place the nails in. Just make sure you're holding the design firmly in place. Take your hammer. Give it a couple good whacks, and there you go. Well, congrats! You did it! Awesome job! I hope you had so much fun getting creative and learning something new. I would love to see you proudly showing off your beautiful creation. Please share with all your Picto Pals on social media so we can cheer for you and admire your amazing work. Be sure to tag @Picto Kits and #PictoPals. Thank you so much.